How do black men create a bad rep for themselves abroad? I'm gonna tell you exactly how. I've been to a lot of places around the world. I've been to Africa, I've been to Asia, Europe, South America, and I was born and raised in North America. Now I'm gonna tell you like this, or one of the most, one of the most known ways that black men create a bad rep for themselves abroad is taking the ninja behavior abroad with them. What do I mean by that? So there's certain places I can be at in the world, right? And I'm pretty used to pretty much being the only black person or expected to be the only black person. And then I see another black person, maybe one, it's like, oh, okay, cool. There's somebody else out here. Then I start seeing six, seven, eight, nine, 10. And it's like, ooh, okay. Now we got to start looking at what types of black men are these. Because to be honest with you guys, all of y'all don't need to travel. Some of y'all do need to stay in the United States. Some of y'all do need to stay in these places that are known for you guys being there and fucking it up. But a place like Florianopolis is not the place for you. Now, if we want to talk about what is that behavior like, being disrespectful to women, cursing loud, acting like you just don't have any home training. There's some places I've been to in the world where it's not black people. So I'm not talking about Africa, but whenever we are encountered and they have been exposed to us already, at times it can almost be a disadvantage being a black American man because of what the previous black American man did before I showed up. Right? You're convincing them to go. No, it's a certain crowd that watches me. I tell people all the time who and who should not travel, right? Like there's certain places around the world that these black men that I might complain about sometimes will not go to, right? Or if they go there, they won't enjoy it. For example, where I'm at right now in Paraguay, this is not a place where you get a bunch of easy sex. This is not a place that you pay for sex. This is like I have known chicks for 4 months and I'm just now going on a date with them. Like it's a place like that because the people work a lot and it's not a red light district. A lot of black men won't enjoy, even if they did come here, they would not enjoy it. It's not even nothing to do, not even a damn museum. So a lot of you guys won't be here anyway. Santiago, Chile, too expensive. Montevideo, too expensive for you guys. You know, where else in the world? Romania, Poland. We're in Poland, but it's not a lot of us like that. Even the Africans got us beat to get into places in Eastern Europe. But ninja behavior like throwing money in the club, cussing loud, disrespecting women, trying to talk to every single woman that you see. Oh my God, that makes us look so weak and thirsty, desperate, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Stop talking to every woman that you see. There's no way in hell you find every woman attractive. But if you do, other cultures see that, other cultures of people, societies, whatever you would call it, they see that. And then you set a reputation because they only have a reputation of what they've been exposed to. And they see that and they're like, oh, like these black men are known for being thirsty. They're known for being thirsty. This guy has to talk to every single woman that he sees. Not every single woman that he might find attractive, but every single woman that he sees, because I've seen it happen too many times. Care for your appearance. You guys, it's nothing worse than when I see us traveling and we don't even take the time of day to even look presentable. Like you can't go to Eastern Europe, Western Europe, Japan looking like a fucking bum. Just bottom line. That shit really only works in a couple of places around the world. Because number one, let's not forget we're already black, right? Let's not forget we're already black. And no, I'm not talking about Floyd. If I had an issue with Floyd, I'd tell Floyd. We're already black, right? You showing and presenting yourself to be the bottom of the barrel black is not the best idea for the rest of it, the rest of the crew. Sometimes it does make a lot of sense to get away from you, motherfucker. I mean, really, I love y'all. I'm here to inspire y'all. But the only time I've seen large numbers of black American men not being an issue was when I was in Africa. And that the reason for that is you have three types of Black American men that travel. The Black man that only likes Black women. Usually you find these guys in Africa. They're gonna be in Latin America too. But if they're I only like Black women, they're gonna be in Africa. And I've went to Nairobi, Kenya. I've been to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, where there's a lot of Americans in both of those places. Not too many in Tanzania, but in Nairobi, Kenya, right? And I didn't feel like the dudes that came from the States were fucking up the game for me when I got there. You know, you guys know exactly what I mean. If a lot of us go to one area and we change the dating culture, we change the perception of how we're viewed in that city, it's not usually positive either. But in Nairobi, that really wasn't a thing. And I started to figure out that there's different types of Black American men that travel. You have the ones that will be in Nairobi, and they don't usually bring too much foolery with them. Like, it's pretty much just straightforward. This is what I want to do. This is who I am. I don't need to prove myself. Then you have the other ones that are like divestors, right? And that's, I don't give a fuck who you date. I don't go to bed thinking about who you gonna be sleeping with or marrying. I don't give a fuck. I'm just observing. You have divestors that don't date Black women at all. Even if they were mixed, they don't want any shade. They don't want a what is her name? Brittany Renner. That's even too Black for them. It has to be white, Asian, or a mestiza. That's all they're limited to in their minds. Now, these dudes, when you guys go to another country and you guys interact with a non-ounce of Black blood having women, one thing I've noticed that you guys do is you guys go over there and you pedestalize the women, number one. You turn around and you shit on Black women in general. And as a global standard, right? And you do stuff that we already complain about that we don't like in the States. You guys go, like, I don't see too many simps going to Africa. Are they there? Yes. But it seems like the majority of y'all going to Asia and Latin America. Look at Colombia, look at the DR. Look at the places y'all have already fucked up, you know? So we have these dudes that don't like Black women at all. You guys are a different type of traveler, and I don't care. I don't care who you sleep with. It's none of my business. I'm just observing. You have another traveler, which is somebody like me who dates. I'll date whoever. I mean, I have my preferences, but I'll date whoever. Obviously, I've been to many places that are not dominated by Black people. Correct. I don't have the need to pedestalize one race over another. I don't have the need to, I just don't like Black chicks. I don't I don't have the need to do that. If mass numbers of dudes with the mentality like the tech guy, the nerdy guy, somebody who has basic respect for people around them, it's no problem. Another thing that we don't do, and I've made this mistake myself, which is not learning the culture in other places. For example, let me go ahead and throw a slug at Brazil. Apparently, there's certain way in their culture, there's a certain way that Brazilian women don't like to be depicted on the internet to expose horrorism that's going on in Brazil. They don't want you they don't want you to point out the fact that their culture, which is just fine with me, I loved it, but to the rest of the world, they may be perceived as whores. I didn't know that. Made the mistake. I've made my own mistakes abroad. I won't make them look like whores or anybody else look like whores anymore, no matter if it's true or not. But I never said that. Now, some of you guys try to go to these other places and you try to change the culture to what you want it to be, right? I don't do that. That's why I jump from country to country. Like, hey, if the chicks in Zambia weren't on my time, 10 days, I'm out. Senegal, same thing. 7 days, I'm out. Accra, probably never see me again. I don't try to change it. I go there and I see what it is, and I go to places where the culture fits my personality. Like Brazil, like Nairobi, Kenya, like Tanzania. Those cultures were probably not a place like Tanzania probably was not 100% what I wanted it to be, but it was enough for me to go back if I wanted to, which I will. I don't have those problems, but a lot of you guys like to go to these other places and you want to make them what you want them to be. And eventually, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen to you guys. Eventually, the foreigners are gonna start getting tired of seeing us, right? We're not, they're very well aware that dudes are traveling to meet women, you know, that there's a lot of you guys that travel just to meet women, not even to live there. So you guys will eventually find yourself in probably some dangerous trouble, right? Dangerous trouble. I've seen it. I've seen it because you guys go to these places and you try to make them like the United States, and it's not going to end well. Like, I have a prediction that a lot of us will end up hurt. A lot of us already ended up dead. It's not going to end well for these mindsets that you guys have. Another issue that you guys have is you guys do not learn the languages of these places when you go there. What do I mean by that? I mean exactly what the hell I just said. You don't learn the languages of these places when you go there. For example, I speak Portuguese and I know enough Spanish to order my food, to tell the taxi driver which way to go, to talk to pretty much anybody. I probably don't know every word, but I know a lot more than you motherfuckers do. And I know that for a fact. How can you truly have, like, you guys got to remember, I've talked to chicks in every country and I'm like, especially in Latin America, right? I can be like, oh, I want to just learn more about Chile. Can you tell me some nice places to go in Chile? They get excited, like, oh yeah, let me show you go here. I'm so glad you want to find out more about my country. That goes back into the culture, right? I want to find out where the Spanish classes are at. Or can you come over and help me practice Spanish? I'm planning on staying here for a while, or I'm planning on frequenting here for a while. Can you help me learn Spanish? Those small things get you cool points with the society. For example, how do you guys feel when you guys see, uh, and you're in Texas and you see a legal Mexican that's been living in Texas for 10 years, but he doesn't speak English? It frustrates you, right? Like, they speak to you in Spanish. You're like, motherfucker, I don't speak Spanish. You're in the United States, you speak English. The people in Brazil look at it the same way. They look at it the same way. So the same way how we look at illegal immigrants that never learn English is the same way how they look at us for not learning Spanish or Portuguese. Luckily, if you're in Africa, you don't really have to learn their language. You don't have to learn Swahili to be. It helps. I mean, not really in Kenya. You don't need it, but you don't really have to learn those languages to be in those places. So make sure you just know where you're at. Learn the language.